Hey everybody, this is Sean Price with Price Realtors with this week's market report. As you're going to see, there's some good news for buyers. A small window that may be opening up that could be a good opportunity to for people to take advantage of. So let's just get right to it. So this is our buyer activity versus inventory. And what you'll see here is buyer activity over the last several weeks had been significantly increasing. But for the last 2 weeks, we've had a drop. Okay, it's not a huge drop, but it's a drop. When you look at seller activity and inventory, you can see over the last 2 weeks that has increased. So the good thing for buyers is that right now there's a situation where inventory is starting to increase and buyer activity is starting to decrease a little bit. So if you go over here to our seller's market versus buyer market, you can see that it's becoming a weaker seller's market. Now, this is the window that I'm talking about. This is that kind of window of opportunity because what's ended up happening is buyer activity has not reduced significantly. You can see that it's still at a pretty high level. But what's happened is the sellers are starting to enter the market. They're starting to get ready for that spring market and move into the summer market. So there's a window where buyer activity has not yet caught up to where seller activity is starting to move, if that makes sense. So that's why we're seeing this decrease. I do not believe that means that we're moving into a shift, that we're moving away from a seller's market. What I do believe is that we are in that little window between spring and summer where sellers are starting to come onto the market and the buyers that are waiting until spring to summer have not yet come on the market. Personal experience, I have several buyers that are waiting until mid-March to April to purchase, and then some that are waiting until June to purchase. So we really do anticipate a large influx of buyers into the market in those time frames. So I think this window is not going to be here for long. I recommend if you are considering a property that you dive into it now. And I'm also about to shoot a video on the actual market here in Northern Virginia and why it's still a really good time to buy a property, even though prices have escalated the way they have. So buyers, it's a good opportunity. It's a good time. Give me a call if you need help with strategies or if you need help finding properties. Sellers, it's a great time to sell. Even though there are sellers that are entering the market right now, inventory is still very short. You can see that we are still in a seller's market, and I only see this increasing as we go. The way this translates into the actual market activity is what we're seeing is, again, multiple offers. Properties are going. We just got a property for a buyer that we got before it was even on the market because he had lost out on 5 other transactions. So it's still a very competitive market. It's still a great time for buyers and sellers. It's a really great time for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you on next week's report.